What is going on, guys? It is your boy Tor Crunch. Today we're back for another video. We're gonna go ahead and do another tier list. Today we decided to go with a character that just got a new form in the game with Shunsui, but not just Shunsui. We actually added on his lieutenant Nanao due to Shunsui not having that many forms in the game, right? Like he has like 8 or so forms, and I felt like just doing him alone wouldn't be enough for a tier list. So I added, his lieutenant Nanao, which adds another like 4 to 5 characters in there. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. If you guys like that concept, if you guys would like me to do more of these, give me a duo you would like me to do a tier list video on, and I'd be happy to go for it. The way I went about ranking these characters is off of usability in the game and how useful they are in the game. So that's also that's including how good they are as a link, how good they are in certain areas of the game, not just PvE content. So hope you understand, but with that said, let's get right into it. So we're gonna go ahead and kickstart all of this with tier D. Tier D is the characters that I feel are just not that great anymore. You've got Tag Team Shunsui and Nanao. As you see here, those are 2 really old characters. They're just not that great anymore. Maybe at one point they had their own good traits to them or whatnot, but as of this point in the game, they're just not that great. Shunsui actually got his tag team form recently, but even his tag team form wasn't all that great. I believe he got weakened duration on his second soul trait, as the second soul trait, and overall he's just not that great. Gameplay is kind of, since he's old, it's gonna be kind of bad, and overall, yeah, just not the greatest. And now kind of the same thing with her. I was looking over her gameplay again, and she actually has pretty cool unique strong attacks, but the thing about her is that she's just not built right with her numbers, right? Her stats are lower, she doesn't have the greatest skills, she actually doesn't have frenzy or flurry. She's one of those characters that has bombardment and has like the even SP and attack. I think in the future, if they decided to give her frenzy, I think she would be pretty good. I mean, she has really cool unique attacks, and overall, I mean, like, she's not bad, but she's definitely not great. And overall, yeah, she falls off pretty big, big time down to D. Moving on to C rank though, these are characters that I feel like are, overall decent at least, right? Specifically that Parasol Shunsui, he just recently got his resurrected form, and with his resurrected form, he actually ended up becoming a little bit better than he used to be. He got his increase in stats and skills. He has a nice little bruiser and berserker, which increases his attack, and then he does have an enhancer with a boost as his second. So overall, I mean, he's not that bad. As a new player, if you came right when he was out as a character pack, I would have recommended buying him, just because again, if you don't have that great of a character, other characters, he's not a bad unit to use. He's a mind attribute, and again, he could probably hit pretty hard. This Shunsui, the other one right here that we've got, this one came out just about like 3 years ago, man. This one was with Jushiro and Toshiro, that came out on the climactic battle summons, I believe is what it was called. Really cool character back in the day, and today, I mean, he's not the worst, especially because of his really good resurrected form that he got. I mean, he's not the greatest in terms of gameplay, but he's got a really good soul trait. He's actually one of the top used characters in terms of soul traits, because he's got a soul trait of normal attack damage plus 25%, and then he also has damage reduction of minus 12% as a secondary, which is really good, man. Again, that makes him a very desirable soul trait to use or get for that reason alone. He got a 60% increase in his bruiser, so he has 60% increase with his 25, which through his soul trait, which is really good overall. And I mean, overall, I mean, like, the thing about him is that he's older, his gameplay is going to be a little but really good, useful soul trait at the very least. Moving on to the B rank characters, these ones, the way I went about ranking these units is just overall, like, how good are they and what their usefulness is for them in the game. And for example, Nanao, the Cacao Society Nanao, she's actually not the worst, although she doesn't have frenzy or flurry. She does have a nice set of strong attacks, like pretty decent strong attacks. I would recommend you check them out when you get the chance. She's actually got pretty good gameplay. She does have bombardment, and she has a damage reduction of 16%. So what that means to me is that, as a power unit, DR links for one aren't they're not that stacked in that attribute. So that's one thing. Two, she's got pretty decent, like I said, gameplay. Her gameplay overall is better than like the original Nanao from back in the day. Like, her gameplay is horrible. She does have bombardment, which helps, but like her gameplay is horrible, so it drops her off big time. While this one has pretty decent gameplay. Again, she's all right. Not the greatest, but definitely not the worst. Shunsui, this one's, a lot of people don't like this Shunsui, and I don't think he's the greatest either. But the thing is, he does have higher attack. He does have 50% bruiser, and then he has poise with long reach, and you know, a few other things. I think even weakened defense. He's not the worst, but he's definitely, again, not the best. Probably one of his most underwhelming forms that he's received in the last couple years. Parasol Nanao, dude, this Parasol Nanao is actually really good. Looking at her stats and skills, I mean, she's not the greatest, but again, she actually got a really good resurrected form. So she originally had 12% recharge time. She also got a stamina recovery, so she's gonna get that when she's playing right in between rooms, so she gets healed up. But she also got frenzy as a skill, so that right there made her even better than she was before. Beforehand, she was probably the best Parasol unit, but with that frenzy, it made her even better. One unfortunate thing about her is that her second is that it doesn't inflict any damage. It's just a heal, and that's it. Overall though, pretty decent character. Like I said, a good soul trait at the end of the day, and then also you know, a useful little unit that you can use here and there. Here we go with the A rank. So what we have are two units that you know, are more recent, and because of that, you know, they end up being a little bit better than a few of the other ones. We've got Christmas Nanao. Christmas Nanao is actually pretty good. Her gameplay is not that bad. She has a first that is unfortunately ranged collision. That's probably her worst, you know, out of all her strong attacks. Second ends up being a heal. So outside of it recharging quite a bit, or you know, having a longer recharge, she's still good, right? It's still a good, decent, strong attack. Third is nice, and normal attack string is actually not the worst either. Overall, the Nanao is pretty good. She's actually quite often like in the ER bonuses, which I don't know why they do that, but I mean, I guess they want to push her out there a little more. I mean, again, she's all right. A pretty good character overall. There's not really too much to say about her though. Shunsui here, a really cool character that I personally really like. He has a first that isn't the greatest. Second is a vortex, and you know, so you could say that, you know, he's bad because of his two ranged collision attacks. But the thing is that he does inflict lacerate. He does have frenzy. He does inflict decent damage. He also has a strong attack damage increase of 20% through his soul trait, which, you know, could have been better with recharge. But overall, you know, like I said, like, built pretty well. His third is really clean. I really like the animations on it. Like, you see his two swords on screen, and it looks really cool. Overall, I feel like this form is decent. It's not the best, but it's decent, and especially with you know, him being out on like every premium banner, you could probably transcend him or have him full you know, fully transcended eventually. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. And last but not least, we're gonna go ahead and end it with the S tier characters. These characters are the best of the best, and the first one that we went ahead and went with at S rank is the Can't Fear Your Own World version of Shunsui. Not a lot of people really like him. I mean, I kind of on the fence about him. I really like his gameplay outside of his first, but then looking at it again, I realized that his first, although it's not the greatest, it's still not the worst. It's actually better than almost every other character here outside of, you know, manga Shunsui. It's a lunge attack. It feels a little clunky, but it does the job. Outside of that though, his second and third are absolutely monstrous attacks. I really love the two other attacks. He does have a really nice normal attack string. He does have no affiliation killer, but at the end of the day, no affiliation killer is one, becoming a bigger killer now. It's being more useful day by day. And not only that, but he still has amazing stats and skills. I mean, like I said, he has close to 800 SP, I believe 798. He also does have frenzy. He does have lacerate that he inflicts, and the crazy thing about it is that he inflicts 40% additional damage on lacerate units. So that's actually, like, when he inflicts it, that's how much more damage he gets, which is really good. Combine that with his frenzy and overall damage, he's gonna hit hard, man. He really is. So overall, I really like this Shunsui here at S rank. Some may say he's probably lower. I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't fault you for that, but at the same time, I think he's really good, and I think he'll show his prominence and his dominance in the next few weeks or months when you know, we find out no affiliation is actually more useful than we originally thought. And then last but not least, probably the best Shunsui we've ever had and will ever have, unless, you know, K-Lab decides to finally do him a little more justice, right? Because to be honest, man, Shunsui as a whole hasn't really had much love in the game. But this form right here, man, absolute freaking god, dude. He has a really nice first strong attack where he lunges forward, which is what you want in a first. Second was kind of a controversial strong attack at first, but over time we figured out that strong attack is so good, man. It hits so hard. The on that magnification on that strong attack is through the roof. So if you get really close, he actually could potentially nuke a lot of characters. And especially now with the new guild quest, I could have sworn like when he had the guild quest, you know, requirements, he actually was getting like I saw a video of him getting like a 10-second score, and that's again because of that second strong attack. That third is really nice as well. He's he's the first of its kind, I believe, that actually has a chance of insta killing on his special. And overall, man, just a monstrous character. Gameplay is the biggest factor when it comes to a character's life on this game, whether or not they'll be good, whether or not they'll die off within a week or two. When it comes to gameplay, if they're good, if it checks off, they're going to be really good units in general, and they'll last a long time, because 1,000 Year Blood Shunsui has been around for what, 3 years now, and he's still a prominent character in the speed attribute. Anyways, that is my opinion. Let me know what you guys think down below. I know not everyone will agree with this, but let me know down below. You know, give me some criticism, constructive criticism. Tell me where I went wrong. And overall, I tried to be you know, focus in more on like the stats and skills, and I looked into a lot more into the gameplay. I did a little more research this time, and I feel like I'm confident with this ranking. But anyways, again, comment down below who you'd like to see next on a double character tier list where I take a look at 2 characters and basically rank them in the tier list. But anyways, appreciate you guys so much, man, really do. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.